No.
Yeah, you ruined your life.
Yeah, pretty much.
Could have gone to Emory. We have nothing left to talk about.
We
I
do.
just realized.
No, we have lots.
No, we peaked.
Were we live on Facebook when Orny and Chelsea were arguing about colleges in Atlanta?
I
hope we were.
I don't know exactly.
Hey everybody, Orny Adams is here. What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing? Were we on the air live when I was talking about the sharpener on the crayon? What we used to stick in there?
Now, we might have been on Facebook, and they could actually probably see it. No, we weren't on the radio, but yeah, Orny has 2 huge packs of Crayola.
So stop with just huge.
Well,
That's it.
2 of them though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know if you want that.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've never met before. This is, welcome.
Thank
I'm
you.
glad you're here. I rewatched Comedian last night in your honor, actually.
Oh good. Oh good.
Do you get dough from that still?
No. With dough as in money?
Yes.
No.
No?
I don't think I ever did. I got paid a day rate, which was a lot of money at the time. I think it was $565 every day that they shot. So I never shut up. I just kept talking. $565 when we live in New York City?
So if somebody doesn't know the movie, please go. It's out on Netflix now.
Yeah.
Comedian, which was Jerry Seinfeld and Orny.
Yeah, but this is before HD video. I encourage people to watch my specials.
Well,
my stand-up
absolutely,
specials.
do that too. But I first became aware of you through the Comedian.
Wow.
I mean, I love that movie.
Yeah.
How do you look at that?
Well, I don't because I'm too close to it. So, you know, it's just something that just keeps coming up that I'm sick of talking about. No,
But we haven't met, so please indulge me because I find it fascinating.
Well, I should have known, like, Brooke Shields came up to me once and she said, "It's your Blue Lagoon. You're going to have to talk about it in every interview for the rest of your life." I go, "No way. I'll do something so big that it will, 20 years later, nothing. I'm still talking about it."
Well, I mean, it is a big deal, right? I mean, you're not trying to downplay it. I mean, it's you and Jerry Seinfeld in a movie for crying out loud.
It's another lifetime. It's like,
Agreed.
it's a different person. I don't even, anybody who says life is short, they're out of their minds. I mean, like we have different, I'm in another lifetime than that lifetime. Yeah. I'm in a different lifetime than when I went to, Emory in Atlanta, then I went to camp. It's like, I'm not even that person. I can't understand that person.
Really?
I don't look like that person. I don't sound like that person. I have different ambitions and different goals than that person. But it definitely, I'll say this.
Okay.
It created such a self-awareness of myself that it was a gift, and that I love. It changed me in ways that I love.
So, and let me just go back for a second because there's somebody who may not have seen it. I mean,
Who didn't see it?
It's a lot of people
I'm
didn't
leaving.
see it.
Thank you.
Chelsea did not see it.
A documentary that follows essentially the idea is like a seasoned vet, and that's Seinfeld, and then the up and comer, and that's Orny, and they follow you guys behind the scenes at comedy clubs, and you're trying to make your way, up and up into the biz, and
Right.
I find it crazy fascinating because I love stand-up comedy. I love to see the behind the scenes. I love to see, guys fretting over their act and figuring out how to make this better, and one word changes that. I think all of that is so fascinating. And yeah, you were 20s, I guess?
I was, I think, 29 when we started shooting.
And I mean, everything, the thing I kept thinking in my head is when you do something like that, and like you said, you're shooting all the time, every day for however long, then the editing process happens, and that they can make anything look any way they want to with the editing. And I assume you had no say in any of that.
I had no say in it. I assume Seinfeld did it since he was an executive producer, on a documentary about him.
Right. But I mean, it is about both of you.
You know what I love?
More about him, but you're in it a lot.
Oh, I stole the show. No, it's
fascinating.
It is interesting. There were 2 versions. There was an earlier version of the documentary that I really liked. It was more balanced. There were more of my bits in there. There were some pieces in it that really said more about me as a person.
Okay.
And then it got sold to Miramax, and then they came in and sort of vilified me in a sense, which I think is fascinating. What I love is this is going back, 20 years now.
Yeah.
And people still sometimes will say, "Who do you think you are?" Like, there's a scene where I'm getting into, a limo, and I open my own door, and I say, "I have to open my own door." I mean, obviously, I'm kidding.
Right.
That's my sense of humor.
Sure.
Which didn't translate at the time, which is my fault. But years later, I was on a show called Teen Wolf on MTV, and that character was able to make that sort of humor translate. So I learned from that. But what I think is fascinating is I was on, where was I? I was somewhere, and somebody was calling me like the villain of this documentary, like I was like this horrible person in this documentary, and I thought, at what point am I in a documentary with Bill Cosby and he becomes a horrible person?
Yeah, you're right. That's another lifetime ago.
Yeah.
For both of you.
Right. So
in
the
that
goal of the documentary was Seinfeld building a new hour and getting to meet his hero,
Yeah.
Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
So look how much has changed, right? I'm still at the Comedy Zone in Charlotte, North Carolina, 20 years later, but Cosby's in jail and Seinfeld has bought another island. Okay, there you go.
Well, you're kidding. You're at the pinnacle of success right now,
Oh,
obviously. Look at you.
please. Please.
So what
It
do you
didn't,
work
it
on,
didn't
Sean?
happen for me. I did well. People, you shouldn't complain. Well, they're wrong. I should complain. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
like
more
people
fun
go,
that
oh, it could be worse. It could be better. It could be a lot better.
No, I thought they, not even knowing you at the time, it's obvious when you watch something and you feel like all the cards are played on one side of the table. I mean, it was evident that wasn't necessarily you, but they were painting you into something.
Ever heard the expression "follow the money"?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I still thought it was great,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't imagine that it wasn't good for you, right? I mean,
And
was
Brooke
it?
Shields called it your Blue Lagoon. I didn't see the entire movie. Is there a nude scene in there?
I actually have no. I actually
It's
have
just hair covering your nipples?
I actually have footage of Michael Moore talking to me about the documentary backstage at the Tonight Show. We were filming. I had a contract with CBS for a talk show, and they were filming some B-roll footage for like a sales reel. And Michael Moore came flying up to me, and he said, "I don't even care if the cameras are on. I have this to say," and it's pretty fascinating from a documentarian's point of view.
What was
That's
it?
it. I'm leaving it at that. I'm leaving it at that. Don't we have to take a break?
No, come on.
You know what I love is when I come in here, okay, you don't say a word.
Uh-huh.
This guy, behind the big guy behind the couldn't be nicer. I'm sitting here being nice to him, and then I didn't realize you're the one running the interview? I guessed wrong.
You had a 50-50 shot. Okay?
I guessed
It's the
wrong.
first time anyone's ever called Woody nice. So that's a big day for you.
It is a big day.
Yeah.
Well, that's because I was doing all the work behind the scenes and he
Uh-huh.
was just BSing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
What? No, do you feel? I didn't mean to be negative. You
No,
feel
no,
it's
no, not
negative?
at all. No,
Okay.
no. But you watch that documentary. Are you compelled at all to see what is going on in my career now? Do you go
Absolutely.
look at?
Oh,
So have you
yeah.
seen like my recent Showtime special?
I haven't
my
seen the new
Netflix,
special.
okay,
But that's not. But that doesn't mean that
that documentary is a failure. Then
I
it's an
disagree.
absolute failure.
I watched you
Thank
speak
you.
French in Toronto, I think. So yes.
Right, and Woody, Woody, I come in, he's like, I just watched video of you in San Diego. Like, he knew all my current stuff. You want to go back to my birthing video. Let's go back to that video of you being born.
I still think, but listen though, I feel like that's something that's really, I'm not saying that your specials don't rival it in terms of being fun and interesting, but that was a big deal.
Yeah.
It's worth talking about.
Sure, of course. Yeah.
You know what we're doing?
I feel like you're mocking me now.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
We're doing the good cop, bad cop thing.
I've
No,
noticed
I'm
that.
not. Why am I a
I've
bad
noticed-
You're a
cop?
bad cop.
Does he do this every day?
Straight up.
Yeah.
I'd like to see how somebody has changed. So I would go back and watch that. I don't expect you to be the same that you were back then.
Of course not.
Okay,
No
so
one
that
is.
means you might go and watch my current specials, see what's going on,
I
right?
want to see. I want to grow with you.
Thank
I
you.
want to see who
Some
you were
people are
then.
stuck.
I want to see.
I think all he does is go back and rewatch the time. These are like my friends that just watch Friends on Netflix over and over again. It's over. We watched that in the 90s.
He's not as bad as you think he is.
No, I know
Woody
he
is
isn't.
worse than you know he is. But we'll get to that in the next.
I'm going to refuse to watch any special that ever comes out.
Oh, come on.
By the way, if it makes you feel better or worse,
won't.
I've never seen Shawshank Redemption, so there you go.
You know,
Take
I
that for
didn't
what it's
either,
worth.
and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because my girlfriend in college, we were supposed to see that on a date. I was in Boston. I think she was still back in Atlanta. I think I was like a senior. She was probably, I was a year ahead of her. And so anyway, she went and saw it on a date with another person. And I said, when I find the woman I love, I'm going to watch Shawshank Redemption. And I still haven't. It's like comedian. I'm still stuck in the past. Damn it.
I'll take you and Wilcox on
Let's
lunch
go on a
together.
date.
There you go.
That's what you're
Nice.
waiting
That'd
for.
be a
Yes.
fun date. I think we could, we can mend any fences that need mending and watch the movie together.
So I never saw Shawshank. Yeah, I didn't.
No, I mean now it's sort of become a thing, so that's why I brought it up.
And why is it a thing?
Because years ago,
Uh-huh.
something came up on topic, and we were talking about things that, movies, I guess, and I said, "Oh, I've never seen that," and everybody lost their minds because it's a great movie by all accounts, and I still haven't seen it, however many years later.
But it's on TBS every 30 minutes.
Oh no! People have sent me DVDs. I've got a stack of them.
Yeah.
And now it's like I'm making a point of not
Right,
watching.
right.
I've been waiting for Orny Adams to
Yes.
come, and now we're going to watch it together.
Yes.
Somebody sent you a poster of Rita Hayworth, which means nothing to Orny or to Wilcox, and he's like, "What's this?" And I was like, "Oh my god!"
Apparently, it's in the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. If it was in the movie Comedian, I would have known about it. Seen that many times. All right, now we're going to take a break. But we'll talk more about other things. Orny Adams is here. You should check him out if you're in Charlotte. He's at the Comedy Zone tonight and tomorrow night, and we'll have some tickets.
It's
for
just
you,
to be
too.
clear, I'm doing different jokes than I was doing in Comedian 20 years ago. For those of you that
You write that
have
down.
matured beyond that one thing I've done.
Coming up next, we're going to read through his entire list of accomplishments. So stand by. By the way, CLTComedyZone.com is the way to get your tickets to see Orny Adams tonight and tomorrow night. We'll have some for you as well, so stand by. That was fun.
Yeah. I was trying to think if I should name. Her name was Debbie. I was going to say her name.
We're still live in case you don't
I
want to
don't
talk
care.
to Debbie.
Okay.
Okay.
Facebook, but not on the radio.
Right.
So now they can see how we really feel about each other.
Why the hell did Debbie go on a date with another guy?
I think we
Debbie, I think we know. I think we know. Because I used to stick my.
Just put his crank in a crazy
His was like a tube of cookie dough. I couldn't.
I know we should call Debbie and find out.
I mean, it's just
Let's
amazing
call
that Emery would let you in, knowing that you would do that to the crayon.
You're so, it doesn't sound like you got into Emory. It sounds like, I mean, you wouldn't go to tech if you got
I
into
did
Emory.
go into Emery.
You did get
I
into
did get
Emory?
into Emory,
I'd like to
sorry.
see that letter.
I'll call my mom.
I don't think we don't lose people to tech.
Remember how much Emory cost per year back then?
Yeah.
Hope Scholarship had started in Georgia, so my tuition was covered by that.
Okay.
Less at Emory because it was a private school, Tech is a public school.
Where'd you grow up in Atlanta? It sounds like outside of the
It's
loop.
like Snellville area,
Yeah,
but I
outside
went
of
to
the loop.
St. Pius. So, I was in the city, my boyfriend was a year older, he went to Tech, it came down to Chapel Hill or Tech, and I chose Tech because of the guy.
Yeah.
Still ended up in radio. So,
Well, I mean, that makes more sense. If you went to Emory, you would have been a doctor
you'd think.
or a lawyer.
You went
Yeah.
to Emory and you're here with me
I
now.
do better than doctors and lawyers.
So do I. Do you have friends you're like, how are you a doctor, a lawyer? Like, I
Yeah.
know you, I went to school
Yeah,
with
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
You were from Snellville?
Snellville, Georgia, where by
I went to
somebody.
school with Troy with a girl from Snellville. Donna, what's her last name?
Sure, we all know.
Oh,
her.
no,
Donna.
Yeah, Donna from Snellville.
I'll think of her last name. Snellville's not that big.
But it still is an Atlanta suburb.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
big. I went to high school closer into the city, so I didn't go to
Okay.
my local high school. But I'll look up all the Donnas from
I'll
Snellville.
look it up. I'll find out.
This is what they're seeing?
Yeah, so it's a camera where you can take almost like a TV studio. So here's those are people.
That guy wants to see the crayons. I'm holding up the crayons so you can see them. Can you see them, buddy? Mike?
There you go.
I see him.
Orny's right though. My friends that went to Emory
And
are
you can
doctors
zoom
and
in,
lawyers.
This is what people see. So if I hold this up,
Yeah, I got it.
but then if we want to take Wilcox, no.
Hey, let's all pretend that like the screen froze.
It did earlier, and it was not on a good phase.
That's right.
It could do that on its own.
It's not playing along. It's still moving.
I love doing this. It's like the end of the old police squad.
I do this every time my nieces and nephews call on Facebook. You know, not Facebook, call on FaceTime. I always do. And it's like, it's the biggest dad
That's
joke.
good.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
Ah.
I like it though. That's because I'm a dad, I guess.
Like that
So you can
one's-
cut like, and it's
Good morning from
30
Spokane,
seconds
Washington.
away.
How many people watching?
Let's see.
13,000.
That's right. 8 million.
We're killing it.
68.
Call the ad department.
58. And that,
You know, if I put that sweatshirt on, I'd look 20 pounds heavier.
With sweatshirt.
The one I had on before the gray one. I know. That's what happened. We had our pictures taken, and the sun was coming at my face, and I knew it was going to blow me out. And I looked, 40 years older and 40 pounds heavier. It was ruined the entire day.
You look great now. You're sitting next to Woody, so
Right.
everybody looks great.
Right. And it's shooting down. It's fantastic.
Right.
you always want to sit next to the fat kid. You're like, hey, it looks great.
Yep. Yep. I'd like you to watch these specials.
I will watch those
Yeah.
specials.
Yeah.
I will watch those specials. I love stand up. I want to watch them. I just,
He really does.
but I wanted to rewatch Comedian last night because you were going to be here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I felt like they did you a disservice in the editing
Mm-hmm.
because clearly they laid it on somehow on you like you were a bigger dick than you are or something like that. You know what I mean? But I still think the movie in general is fascinating because I love all the behind the
So
scenes.
you must
stuff.
love all these comedy podcasts and stuff like that.
Depends on the one. I mean, some of them do a good job with them. But I like, but that's a little bit different because if it depends. If it's people sitting around who are comedians that I respect, talking about how they do what they do, yeah, I love that. I love that. I loved it when you were talking to Jerry and you were like, I'm getting concerned because my friends are getting married and they're buying houses, and Jerry was like,
Yeah.
and I thought
multi-millionaire Jerry.
right, and I thought
What would be
that
the
was
concern?
such BS because he acted like, why would you ever think that?
Yeah.
And you were asking a same question, like,
Yeah.
I'm getting concerned. I'm wondering if I'm on the right path.
Yeah.
And he was like, and I thought that's just not realistic to me.
Yeah.
For somebody to be like that.
Yeah.
For him to be like, you got to keep at it and you got to keep trying, because then that would be one thing. But for him to be like, that's
Why would
insanity
you
to
want a
think that.
house? Why would you want that?
Yeah, I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Of course everybody thinks that, unless you're just a moron.
He loves comedy, though.
He does
loves
love
and
comedy. He's
respects
been
comedy.
successful. How can you?
Well, and he understands it. He gets it. He does get the fundamentals.
Of course. I mean,
Very few people do.
Yeah. Really?
That's the truth.
Very
I don't
few
even know
people
what that
do.
means.
Ask him; he'll tell you how many do. He's got a number.
He has a
He's
number.
quantified it. Yeah. I mean, but I mean, like Shandling, these guys like, Rock. They get Chappelle. They get comedy on it. When it's done right, it's mathematical. Very few people get that, and Seinfeld does. So, I will say, he's the right guy to do a doc. To sort of try and explain it.
Yeah. Well, there was a lot of Colin Quinn in there. I like Colin a lot.
He's
too.
great too.
Yeah.
Did you see that Randy says you look like Johnny Knoxville and Christopher Walken had a baby?
Who's Randy? The Cran guy?
Online.
No, a guy watching.
Oh, thank you, Randy. I appreciate that.
I love
I've never
your
heard that before.
passion.
This would have been nice to say on the air, but go ahead. Start
I
it.
will,
Thank you.
because-
You want to hold the phone, and then we'll say it?
But I also have a bone to pick
Oh, jeez, here we
Well,
go.
okay, well,
Here we
hold
go.
it.
as an audio guy.
Oh, God.
I'll say it.
What do you mean? What's your bone to pick for? I'm an audio guy.
You point the mic at the crowd a lot
Yeah,
when you're talking.
Yeah.
Luckily, you're loud enough that it sometimes comes through.
Yeah.
But it drops out, and I've noticed a couple of places will put like a lav mic on you, and they'll
Do you
Conan.
think maybe you're not supposed to hear what I'm saying at that moment?
No, you're pointing for emphasis, and it's
Yes, yeah.
great, and it's awesome. But I'm like, why is he doing that?
I didn't critique your comment.
Thank you. It's because you haven't seen it.
Not true.
That was just you kept, there was I think it was Toronto or something, and then you kept dropping out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God, I want to hear this. I want that.
Yeah. Well, then you'll come back and buy a ticket to hear that. Sit
But
closer.
you're gonna point again.
Sit closer.
Oh God! And the woman texting in the front row. Sweet.
Well,
Jesus.
he's watched all my comedy.
I saw the
Sweet
woman
Jesus.
texting in the front
Okay.
row, too.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
way to piggyback on.
Why do you even throw me under the bus? I've done nothing. All I
God,
did was
that
not go to
the,
Emory.
the way you didn't lose it, I was like, she's just sitting there texting. You should watch it. It's really good.
No, you won't watch it. It's because it's where's
I did watch part of it. I just didn't see all of it.
when are we on soon? When are we going on?
A minute?
Yeah, 1 minute.
Oh my god. I'll show. I'm going to show you 1 minute in a minute.
Okay.
It'll change your life.
I look forward to that.
There's no service here. How do you know?
Really?
Radio. What do you
You
want?
get them on the guest, get them on the
Nah,
Wi-Fi.
it's too much work.
Yeah. I get you.
What kind of mics were you using, audio guy?
Sennheiser RE27s.
I have Shure SM7Bs.
I know those.
Oh, you didn't go for the SM58?
No,
It's like a hammer. You can do anything with those.
Mike, what do we have tickets for?
You could
Tonight's
drive a
9:45
nail with
show.
an
Tonight's late show?
SM58. It's still going to sound all right.
There's another one I was looking at the
How
other
many
day.
pairs?
I think-
2?
I like iHeart.
Can't remember her last name.
It is the Woody Wilcox Show at 106.5 and 106.5.com. Stand by. So we are live on the Woody Wilcox Facebook page, and hopefully you were there with us through the break, and comedian Orny Adams is here. We had a good chat, I feel like, during the break, right? There was, Woody critiqued your comedy. I didn't do that,
I did
by
not
the way.
critique his
Because he's
comedy.
seen my comedy.
It's just a weird day when
Yeah,
somebody's
hard to
on the
critique something you haven't seen. That's like me critiquing the snow in Charlotte, North Carolina. Doesn't exist. What an overreaction. By the way, we'd like to announce school's canceled all next week too because of the snow.
Look, you lived in Atlanta at one time. You know how the South works.
Yeah, but you know what? In those days, we waited for an event to happen, then we reacted.
Right.
Right.
Like so, and we used to wake up. I don't mean to sound old, but we used to wake up and we would listen to the radio.
Yeah.
And we'd listen as it alphabetically to see if they'd come around. You know, I lived in Lexington. Oh, they're at the L, the B's, the C's, the D. I don't know what comes before L. Wait,
There's Emory for you.
and they go, oh, it's delayed 3 hours or what?
Yeah.
But you guys delayed it yesterday. I was reading about it before it even happened.
You know what this is, and I hate to get, I mean, I don't know how serious a conversation we want to get into.
I'll
but
get
this
into
is,
it.
This is all part of that same thing where everybody has to do everything just to cover your ass because they're afraid of a lawsuit. I swear that's what this is. Because if something happens and they knew, like you knew a storm was coming,
Yeah.
and yet you allowed something to happen, you're now liable if there's a bus that slides off the road or whatever. Even if
Yeah, but couldn't they say, everybody wake up in the morning, we're all on social media, we're all connected, and you'll get a text at X amount of time telling you whether there's school or not. The idiots at the Comedy Zone canceled the show last night.
what they
Before it even
Canceled
snowed.
the show?
Yes.
It wasn't him.
you're part of the problem, Mike.
Mike's not happy.
He's not happy about it either.
I call them idiots. People I work for.
Yeah, no, you're right. But this isn't even going way back to when we were kids. This is like a very recent phenomenon. This is like in the last year
Couple
or so
years, yeah.
that they've started to do this. They'll cancel it the night before based on maybe. We've had snow days where there literally it was sunny and 40,
Yeah.
and there was not anything.
Time to toughen these kids up. You know what I mean? We grew up in a time where, these kids, they take their temperatures, they're sick, they put a little thermometer on their foreheads, right?
Right.
What did we have? We had a thick glass thermometer that they shoved not up our mouth, I'll tell you that much. Right up, and it was filled with mercury, which was a poison, and if it broke, they let us play with the mercury. Now, is that a lawsuit?
It would be now.
You used to play with the little mercury balls. I used to do my math. That's how I got into Emory. 4 mercury balls was 3 mercury balls equals 7 mercury balls.
Mercury balls was my nickname in high school.
Oh,
You didn't touch
Quicksilver.
please. By the way, remember we all shared the same thermometer?
Oh.
It wasn't like you went to the medicine cabinet and everybody had their own hanging there like a Christmas tree stocking. One thermometer and it was barely clean.
Right. Well, and you had to remember which one was the back door and which one wasn't.
Well, it was the taste.
It's the one that had I think the back door one had a big piece of like metal at the end of it, didn't it? The other one was 100% glass.
I may have had the wrong one.
Yeah, I think that might explain a lot.
Please don't say anymore.
Boy, you really had to decide how sick you were. I don't feel well. I'm getting the thermometer. I'm going to school.
I'm getting on the bus.
But there might be snow. Shame on you, Charlotte.
Right, but Atlanta, what was it, 2 years ago, when truly they locked down. Like people got stuck in their cars for 48 hours on a road.
They abandoned
5 years ago.
They abandoned their vehicles.
What happened is they released schools and workplaces all at the same time.
Why are you looking at me like I'm the idiot? He said it. Wilcox said it. Look at Wilcox. He's the
I
idiot.
understand Atlanta roads. Then.
I know I understand Atlanta, but you're like scolding me. You haven't even gone out on a date yet. You're already talking down on me. You saw the way she was pointing, the eyes.
I'm not going to look at you.
I go, I'm not getting laid tonight. I knew. I go, it's over. It's over.
I've seen this a million times.
What do you
Welcome.
think we deal with?
Woody, you need to stop with me right now, Woody, because this is the third time you've thrown me under the bus for no
There's the
reason.
finger point too, Orny.
I love it. When does this become the semi-Woody?
Not one of you will be having sex with anybody. I guarantee that.
This is fun. Orny should come more often. This is great.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
It's a good time, yeah.
So, how much are you out on the road every weekend? What's the story these days?
My 2019 was so overbooked that I reached a point where I didn't even know what city I was in,
Yeah.
and it was getting really tough. And I moved into a new place in Los Angeles, and I'm sort of trying to chill a little bit. So, trying to maybe take a weekend off a month or
That'd be nice.
to hang, and maybe 2 weekends, and
That's Woody's old stomping grounds, by the way. Cal State Northridge. That's why he's into radio. So.
It's the Emory of the West Coast.
It's not even the Emory of Northridge.
You're saying Pierce College?
I didn't even know there were two. Listen, when your city is known more for an earthquake than the two universities in it, we got a problem. Like Atlanta could burn down and it'd still be known for more than being burnt down.
How dare
Emory,
you.
you could still talk about Emory or
How
whatever.
dare you? 90% of the porn comes out of the valley. We are known for that.
The Valley, which is a whole area, not just Northridge.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
A way to try to glom onto the porn industry
Yeah.
for your claim to fame.
Yeah. You're like I can't even think of an example, but the iPhone. How dare you? The iPhone was invented in California.
That's right.
It's like, dude, Northridge is Northridge.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gonna keep claiming it?
Yes,
All right.
absolutely.
Well
You're not going to force me to give up my alma mater.
I want Chelsea to yell at Orny.
Did you see that?
I'm not looking at any of
Oh my, she just really, she was gonna, that was some woman-splaining right there.
And we got into it off the other day. This is a tangent, but we, like every radio show does, we had an oyster shucking competition in the studio here, and one of the people in our promotions department had never had an oyster before.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like Chelsea was scolding her as she tried to eat an oyster, and I was told that that's not what was happening. So, but it seemed very similar to what you were just receiving.
Boy,
right
she
there.
is shut down. She really, yeah.
You guys just keep piling on. Doesn't bother me.
I'm not, you are scolding me.
I'm still right here. I'm sorry about my hands. I'm very emphatic.
Cool beans!
Frank has asked me to sit on my hands when speaking to him before, and not in a fun way, just because it's very aggressive to him.
I asked you to sit on his hand.
That's right.
All right.
Well,
Maybe that's coming, Orny.
So far, Woody's the only one who hasn't yelled at me.
Woody the best, you got it all wrong.
That's right. You've got it 100% right.
Well, I hope that if fans come up and ask you to sit on their hands, will you do that at the Comedy Zone tonight?
It's a fun show, so I hope people do come out.
I'm sure they will. Absolutely. If they can make their way through the snow.
Right. The plows will be going non-stop in this 45-degree weather.
Yeah, it's beautiful out today. So
Have they thrown down the salt yet? Have they salted the streets yet?
I think so.
Yesterday, I think.
I think they really.
Did they
have.
brine yesterday?
Yes.
I don't know.
See, they brine here.
Well, that's the same thing.
Is it? Okay.
Now
I
you're
never lived in a
now
place
you're
where it's
scolding
salt.
Orny too.
Put your hands down.
You can see on Facebook my hands aren't up. I've been sitting on my own hands the whole show.
I know you have. Well, yeah, I don't know what they do.
Yeah.
They don't do it right, whatever it is. But that's why we don't go to school when it's sunny and 45.
So are the kids allowed? Is it safe for them to drive to school right now?
No.
There's a 3-hour delay?
No.
It's crazy.
It's canceled.
Yeah. The whole day's canceled?
Yeah.
Yeah, in Charlotte.
Yeah. But
So now they have to keep them an extra day in the summer?
And they canceled one last week and had to go on President's Day. So they take holidays away.
There are too many 3-day weekends. We got to cut it out. We got to cut out the 3-day weekends.
You think?
Yeah. Oh, here's a serious question because it's really awkward in here now. So
Okay.
let me bring a little bit of levity. No, seriously. This show might be over next week. These three cannot get along if I'm not here.
That's the way
so
we
let
do
me let me mend things with a really serious question.
Please.
Is it coronavirus virus? Because the word virus is in the word coronavirus. No other virus, they don't say SARS virus. It's the SARS virus. So is it the coronavirus or is it the coronavirus virus?
It's COVID-19 now. They had to change the whole
Yeah,
thing.
they even
They
took
did?
Corona out of it now. Yeah,
Because of corona?
possibly.
No,
Corona was going to sue him.
no,
Okay, are you sure?
yes.
All right, I don't like your condescending look either.
Well,
Yeah! Yeah, settle down, dude! Dial it back! Jeez! Oh, never seen such tension. Wouldn't it be great if like a brawl broke out over the coronavirus discussion? Oh, jeez. Chelsea, you see what you did in here? You got the testosterone going.
Oh, it's me.
It's like a bar fight about to happen.
low T.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for knowing my routine.
I saw that too. I
you
know
saw
the
that?
T bit, yeah.
Okay, all right.
High T's when you made all your bad decisions.
Okay, all right. All right. You're
you.
back.
I've seen the man do comedy.
Yeah.
And it's great.
It is fantastic. And so is the movie Comedian. Even though they portrayed him in a more negative light than they should have.
Thank
Right? Am I right? So, all right, for crying out loud. Go see this guy do comedy. I have, and I would recommend it.
What a liar. You haven't seen anything.
What do you mean? I just quoted his act.
Yeah.
All right, so he's at the Comedy Zone tonight. A couple shows.
I did a private show here last year.
Did you?
Yeah, I
Okay.
did. So if those people are listening, please come out.
Right, that sounds like a great idea. A couple of shows tomorrow. If you're in the Carolinas, go see him at the Comedy Zone. You can go to cltcomedyzone.com. This, as much as this was fun. This was a lot, and this is how we do the show every day, by the way.
Yeah, no, it's always a party.
Okay, good. I'm glad you're with us. Never know. Who's taking it
Anybody's
too
feelings
seriously.
hurt? Do we
I saw it.
Yeah.
We have a post-show counseling session.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Feel free to join us, and then we're going to watch Shawshank. It's going to be good. Orny Adams, thank you, man. It was great to meet you.
Thank you.
We've got a couple of tickets to the late show for tonight to see Orny Adams at the Comedy Zone. You can go to, you can get them at 844-4WW show, and then you can go buy at cltcomedyzone.com.
What were you saying that they changed to 19? Coronavirus is called about 19 now?
COVID-19, but
COVID.
that's an actual company.
COVID-19.
But
okay.
what was it? Were we supposed to say coronavirus?
I don't know.
virus?
But they thought it was too disparaging to the people.
No, like a coronavirus.
People that ate bats to cause us?
I think is like saying automobile, right? A coronavirus encompasses a lot of different viruses.
Yeah.
It's different than like an influenza, so they were like, this is different. You can't just say virus. We have to identify it a little bit more and say this is a COVID-19, a
But that's an actual
coronavirus
business,
that was
too.
discovered in 2019.
It was. I didn't like the explanation when they came up with it, and then
Right.
everybody sat around a table, came up with COVID-19, which is a business that sells cables already.
COVID.
So they've named it after something that exists again. It's just so
It's
dumb.
no pharmaceutical company can have
No
a,
one's calling it that.
what do you call it?
To better
Remedy.
manage
Yeah.
an outbreak,
Right.
you have to identify what we're talking about.
Right.
What disease did you have?
So you're saying Corona is a huge umbrella, and then this is
a
part
coronavirus,
of the corona.
correct. A coronavirus is a blanket statement.
But why is it coronavirus one word? It should be coronavirus.
Now you've gone too far for me.
This is the Emery brain speaking, okay?
I wondered when it first came out. I was like, okay, well, it's all one word.
That's what
Yeah.
I just said.
I'm I'm agreeing with you.
The old Georgia Tech Emory rival.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's Midtown. That's Midtown behavior right there. That is not.
Midtown, like Ponce is so far from Tech. Oh my God.
It is.
I'll
Well,
fight you outside.
listen, I know all about Ponce's where the hookers hang out. That's where
Maybe
the
back in the
Majestic
day,
is.
you remember all that
Oh, I
stuff.
remember all that stuff. Damn right. Hush puppies, Can't get hush puppies.
Is there a varsity nearby?
This one's so well,
There's
we're gonna take a
varsity
picture?
right
There's only one
Yeah.
varsity, there's only one varsity,
Well,
right?
there's one in Athens, there's one right
Okay.
next to
There's
town.
one near
Only-
Tech.
only
That's
one
the
Atlanta.
I know.
Normal people that live there don't go to the varsity.
Chelsea, you're invited
That's
to
right.
join us with the picture.
I'm coming, I'm just sending this off to our other affiliates so they can.
Come on, I want Emory and Georgia Tech.
Come on.
Let's do this.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, and best day ever? November morning, best day ever, okay, got it.
Something popped
What's
on
best
you.
day
That's
ever?
that's my.
Jared Leto started it, and it's that.
Chelsea, I know you know who Donna is. Her dad was an airline pilot for Delta.
How would I know one person from Snow?